A grieving mother says she was forced to mourn her son's death in jail and missed his funeral. She was behind bars for 7 months before the charges were dropped.
And today she sat down with WDRB's Stefan Johnson to walk him through what happened from the day her 5-year-old died to the lawsuit filed just this week.
That mother was actually locked up behind me here at the Meade County Detention Center, charged with her son's death while he was being laid to rest. And now she's hoping this lawsuit will provide justice and punish the people responsible for what happened.
I got a call from Daniel Clemens saying that he had called an ambulance for him, that he was foaming at the mouth and unconscious.
That's how Kayla Erwin's nightmare started on January 10th of 2022. She was more than an hour away in class in Owensboro, Kentucky, when her 5-year-old son, Braden, was rushed to the hospital and later died.
I really didn't get to grieve because they immediately arrested me, took me to jail. I didn't get to go to his funeral and lay him to rest.
After 7 months in jail and more than a year on home incarceration, Erwin was cleared in her son's death, but by then, the damage was done. Both suspects are being held on $250,000 cash bonds.
I was plastered all over the news. Even though I wasn't convicted, the charges were still in my background, so it prevented me from getting a job.
Daniel Clemens, Erwin's ex-boyfriend and the man she says called the ambulance, was eventually convicted in the child's death. This week, her attorney filed a lawsuit against several Meade County officials, including the sheriff, a deputy, and prosecutor.
Those are the individuals that either drove this process or participated in it to a point where they have some legal accountability for it.
John Friend is Erwin's attorney and says there was a rush to judgment.
Anytime you have a criminal investigation is you gather evidence and then you charge. You don't charge a person and then say we'll worry about the evidence later.
The lawsuit alleges Meade County Sheriff Philip Wimpy and others actively worked to keep Erwin incarcerated for months based on bogus charges, even refusing to allow her to attend her son's funeral.
You have to be objective. You have to be objective about the facts that are in front of you.
And there's more. The lawsuit addresses a personal connection, saying in part, Sheriff Wimpy also lost his son in similar circumstances and allowed his personal experience to color his investigation and decision to arrest.
You can't let your personal biases or things that have happened to you in the past color what you do.
Neither the sheriff nor prosecutor responded to a request for an interview, but Erwin says she did receive an apology.
I've heard from Philip Wimpy. He did apologize. I don't know how heartfelt it was because he said he was just following orders from higher up.
The sheriff was not the only person to apologize. She says her last conversation with Clemens came moments after he learned his fate.
He actually walked by after the sentencing and apologized to all of us. He said, "I'm sorry," but it didn't mean anything.
While she was in jail and on home incarceration, Erwin completed her college degree in criminal justice. I'm Stefan Johnson, WDRB News.